present is the gift. What does that mean? Well, it's very easy to get lost in the past or fixate on the future, what we've done, what we're going to do, who we're going to be. And yet, all we ever have is right now. So what we're doing in each moment is what creates our life. And when we realize that, it actually frees us, because we're not stuck, or we can choose not to be stuck. Because if we're always in the past or we're in the future, where are we now? Mentally and emotionally. Physically, we're always here. We can't go to the past or the future physically, but mentally and emotionally, we can. And the past cannot be changed. We can change our perspective. We can change how we perceive it, but we can't change what happened for ourselves or for someone else. And the future hasn't happened yet, so we can't change that. We can only do what we're doing now. So my experience has been with that when I'm in the present, I'm in the here and now, all the other stuff goes away. The real present. The flow, the frequency, the vibration of now is where I really want to be, but I have to choose that. That has to be a conscious choice. Otherwise, I float off. I go somewhere else. So when I'm here, when you're here now, this is where things can be. And where we can create what we want to create. If we're in the past, if we're wallowing in the past, and why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Why did this person say this? Why did this person say that? Or do this or do that? We're replaying something that no longer exists. I've thought that before. Even if I think back to the past and I think, okay, well, I'd like to make that different. I'd like to change that. I can't, and even if I could, I'm a different person. So if I think a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years ago, and I think I want to change something, do I want to change it from where I am now, or do I want to change it from where I was then? because I can't. What I would want to change it to back then is not what I would change it to now. We're always evolving and changing and shifting, and so is everyone else. And so it's not possible, and we wouldn't want to do that anyway. We can change our perspective on the past. This is what it meant to us. Because someone else could have the same experience or a similar experience in the past and have a completely different perspective on it, reaction to it. And then when we're thinking about the future hasn't happened yet. We can plan for it, we can do things now to create the future, but in the future we'll be responding to it in the present. So we can do what we do here now and think of it as an experience. It's not good or bad. It's not a failure or a success. It's an experience. And if we see that from our perspective, we can see that from other people's perspective. And then we can look at them in the same way. It's all just an experience. And it's all within us. It's all created within us right now, in the present. The past is gone, and the future doesn't exist. And that's beautiful. Because we're here, right now, and we're creating as we go. And that's really what the universe does. That's really what everything around us does. It's a moment by moment creation. And if you can tune into that and you can pay attention to that, it's really very beautiful. The moment is the moment, and it is what it will be. And the only thing that we do is have the experience, and then we have our perception of it. But that's within us. That's decided by us. And so we are in complete control of everything in our life. Because we're creating it in the moment. And if we are creating it in the moment, we can change it, we can shift it, we can stay with it, we can pull back, we can push forward. We can command it and learn from it and grow from it and experience it and not attach our sense of self or our identity as people to our experiences. They're just experiences. There is no identity. It just is. And then there's no winning and losing anymore. There's no success and failure. The world might label these things, but that's the world's interpretation based upon, other people, the world, their interpretation of how they would have the experience or the perspective of the experience, but that's theirs. That's not ours. So we can learn from others and we can connect with others and we can grow with others. but they're not responsible for us and our experience. So we can give up control, but we can never give up responsibility for ourselves and for our lives, because the consequences are ours, the experiences are ours. And so ultimately, we must be responsible.